You're watching local coverage you can count on. This is WANE 15 News, first at 5.
We've earned the ability to continue to move forward.
Governor Eric Holcomb says he will sign an executive order that moves the state into phase 3 of the Back on Track plan that will go into effect Friday, not on Monday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tara Brantley.
And I'm Dirk Rowley. All but 3 counties will be able to advance to the next phase, but what changes will start Friday? WANE 15's Angelica Robinson breaks them down in tonight's top story.
Governor Eric Holcomb says he's confident that the state is ready to move into the next phase of his plan. That's largely because the health commissioner says Hoosiers are doing exactly what they're supposed to do: social distancing, washing hands, and wearing face coverings. Most of Indiana will move into phase 3 of reopening Friday. Holcomb says he'll sign the executive order tomorrow. That means social gatherings of up to 100 people are allowed. Retail stores and malls may operate at 75% capacity. Playgrounds, basketball courts, and baseball fields will reopen. So will pools, campgrounds, and gyms, with certain restrictions and social distancing requirements. Many recreational sports practices may begin. However, contact sports like football or lacrosse are still prohibited.
We all have a role in this, and the number one thing you can do is wear a mask when you're around a lot of other people. When you're in close quarters, up on top of, around a lot of folks, a mask is going to go a long way. That physical distancing going to go a long way. Washing your hands, all those hygiene habits that we mention every single time we're together, those add up and make a difference.
For more information about his executive order or what phase 3 will look like, head to our website, WANE.com. Reporting in Fort Wayne, Angelica Robinson, WANE 15 News.
The Fort Wayne Parks and Recreation Department has canceled day camps for this summer. Leaders told WANE 15 that officials determined it would be impossible to provide a quality camp experience and still maintain necessary precautions to keep campers and staff safe. Customers already signed up for this year's camps will be given a full refund. For details on other camps around the area, go to our website, WANE.com. There is more antibody testing for COVID-19 in Indiana. The blood test could show what immunity looks like and who's had the virus. The chief medical officer at Community Health Network says anyone who wants to take the test should first contact their primary care doctor to see if they can perform it. Some local private labs also offer it. Experts believe people who've recovered have some protection against reinfection, but it's not known how long that lasts. It is also unknown if someone with antibodies could get COVID-19 again. Results for antibody testing can take up to 3 days.
There are now over 1,700 deaths due to the coronavirus in Indiana in just over 2 months. State health officials announced 38 new COVID-19 deaths and nearly 600 additional cases today. There are over 29,000 cases in the state. Another 54 Allen County residents have tested positive for COVID-19 to bring the total to 1,098. There have been no new deaths this week. The total remains at 65. Every state is now in some phase of reopening as the number of coronavirus cases in the U.S. surpass 1.5 million. It's day 3 back on the job inside Chicago's Ford Assembly plant, but the reopening has not gone as planned. Thousands of workers were sent home early yesterday, and production was halted after a co-worker tested positive for coronavirus. There's been a spike in COVID-19 cases tied to college graduation parties in upstate New York. Summer camps in several states, including Pennsylvania, Arizona, Texas, and New York, say they plan to reopen later this year.
The Centers for Disease Control is laying out more extensive guidelines for safety precautions. The 60-page document, which the White House initially described as too prescriptive, was posted on the CDC's website this weekend without any notification. It lays out a roadmap for reopening schools, businesses, restaurants and bars, youth programs and camps, child care programs, and mass transit. The guidelines call for maintaining 6 feet social distancing, regular hand washing, and protecting people who are most at risk. Next Star Broadcasting, WANE 15's parent company, will host a second COVID-19 town hall meeting tonight.
Government leaders across Indiana have been invited, including Fort Wayne Mayor Tom Henry. WANE 15's Sierra Tufts spoke with the mayor about his participation.
Mayor Henry says he hopes tonight's town hall will highlight the collective effort being done between multiple municipalities regarding COVID-19. One of the major topics to be discussed during the town hall is unemployment. While that is handled at the state level, Mayor Henry does say it makes an impact on the local level. First, with taxes. That is the revenue that makes the city run, whether it be law enforcement or helping fund schools. Mayor Henry says beyond that, unemployment is affecting his citizens, and that is a concern for him. He says it's a multifaceted issue that he's often asked for input on. Mayor Henry is also looking at what the future looks like for Fort Wayne, and he does have a concern.
When the flu season hits in the fall, and it will, I'm afraid there might be a surge of this because people are not going to know the difference between a bad case of the flu and COVID-19. And I'm afraid that we could be in a very delicate environment in the fall. And because of that, I believe we should still try to be as cautious as we can, move forward in a way that opens up many of the offerings that we want in our community, but at the same time, we need to be very cautious and very sensitive to what we're talking about. And again, I'm not trying to tell people not to enjoy life, but just be very careful. And quite frankly, I do think that what we're experiencing now is going to be the lifestyle for months to come.
You can catch tonight's town hall right here on WANE 15 starting at 7 p.m. We will also have it live streamed on WANE.com, and that live stream will go a half hour longer than the TV broadcast. Sierra Tufts, WANE 15 News.
Now, your first weather from the live Doppler 15 Fury Weather Center.
Just a few stray sprinkles today and plenty of clouds yet again. Take a look at Storm Tracker. We have an overcast afternoon outside across northeast Indiana and northwest Ohio. It has been a cool day with temperatures in the 50s. 59 now in Fort Wayne. Defiance has been able to rise into the 60s at 61 there. 55 in Auburn, 57 in Columbia City and Huntington, 59 in Decatur and Van Wert. Here this evening, temperatures in the 50s, slowly falling. 56 at 6, at 8 o'clock 54, at 10 54, at midnight down to 53. Now coming up in the 10-day forecast, you're going to see our high temperatures begin to climb. And by the time we get into the weekend, we're back to some summertime levels. I'll break down the latest info for you in just a few minutes.
Nicholas, thanks. Fort Wayne police arrest 2 people in charge, one with murder, less than 24 hours after a fatal shooting. 19-year-old Ronnie Miles Jr. and a 16-year-old are charged in what police call a robbery involving drugs. Miles is charged with murder, felony murder, robbery, and more. The juvenile with felony murder and robbery. The Allen County Coroner's Office identifies the victim as 19-year-old Jaden Nelson. Police found Nelson outside a gas station at Calhoun and Pettit around 4 p.m. Tuesday. Investigators believe he was shot in his car near Avondale and Maple Grove and then drove to the gas station. He died at the hospital.
A woman who police say stabbed her husband to death over a car seat is charged with murder. 24-year-old Jamie Marcy is accused of fatally stabbing Austin Harrison on Thursday outside Midwest Pipe and Steel on Pontiac Street. Court documents show a witness overheard the pair yelling and saw Harrison chasing Marcy in the parking lot before he clutched his bleeding chest and collapsed. Marcy drove away from the scene, later telling police she wanted the car seat from the victim's vehicle. Her court date has not been set.
A man from Mongo faces several charges after a high-speed chase in 2 states on a stolen motorcycle. It all started around 6:20 this morning when deputies with the LaGrange County Sheriff's Department attempted to pull over a biker for speeding. Police say he took off at one point entering Michigan and topping speeds of 125 miles per hour. Eventually, 49-year-old Jamie Gayhart was taken into custody at State Road 3 and County Road 300 North. He is facing charges of resisting law enforcement, possession of meth, possession of stolen property, and reckless driving.
A man's recovering after a 3-vehicle crash this morning. It happened at Hillegas Road and West State Boulevard around 5:15. According to the Allen County Sheriff's Department, a northbound dump truck was rear-ended by a pickup truck and then a car. Medics took the driver of the pickup truck to a hospital with serious injuries to his leg. No one else was hurt in that crash. Every Memorial Day weekend, Scouts place flags and wreaths on the graves of veterans. This year, though, the VA says no. Some elected leaders say they understand the importance of social distancing, but believe this outdoor activity presents an extremely low risk to the Boys and Girl Scouts. They want the VA to lift the ban.
It's not like these Boy Scouts are going to a rock concert. They're going to be socially distanced, going into the cemeteries and laying wreaths on Memorial Day like they always have before.
For the full details on this story, you can visit WANE.com.
Coming up on First at 5, if you are hoping to enjoy some normalcy by heading to the deck, you'll have to wait another day. We'll explain why.
Plus, a new clue has been found in the likely Trader Joe's location in Fort Wayne. What we know so far when your number one news at 5 returns.
Local coverage you can count on continues with Tara Brantley and Dirk Rowley. You're watching WANE 15 News, First at 5.
With still no official confirmation, it appears more certain Trader Joe's will open at Jefferson Point.
A permit has been issued for a sign that reads Trader Joe's. A permit application filed in the city's Department of Planning Services for a Trader Joe's sign was approved for an address that matches that of Jefferson Point. The work has been happening between DeBrand Fine Chocolates and Panera Bread, which both have the same address as the one listed on the permit. For more details on this timeline, head to WANE.com. A central Michigan town underwater after 2 dams failed. The state's governor declared a state of emergency. Some 10,000 people have been told to evacuate. Startling video captures the moment the Edenville Dam in Midland County collapsed. It was one of 2 catastrophic dam failures in the area Tuesday. The Edenville and Sanford Dam breaches come as record-breaking rainfall of more than 7 inches drenched parts of the Midwest this week, causing water to quickly rise to historic levels.
I've been here approximately 26 years and have never had this type of situation occur.
Parts of Michigan are set to reopen Friday. Observing how those areas manage that reopening and assessing the damage from the dam failures are 2 major challenges the state will have to face in the coming days.
Back at home, it's almost deck season. The deck at the Gas House tried to open today. Well, they wanted to. Weather pending, of course, and that weather didn't really cooperate. Temperatures in the mid-50s. The weather ruined those plans. The deck said there would be some changes to the way things look and feel at the outdoor restaurant bar when the season does get underway. Owners now hope to open tomorrow. Will the temperatures cooperate? Nicholas has a look at your 10-day forecast next.
Local coverage you can count on continues with Chief Meteorologist Nicholas Pereira's live Doppler 15 Fury forecast.
Here we sit in the midst of our cloudy, cool, and overcast Wednesday. Take a look at our weather camera at DuPont Hospital. Not really any sunshine to be seen. It is well filtered by the thick cloud cover we have across the region. This cloud cover still being sent in by the system that has been plaguing us with gray days this week and also a number of rain chances. While rain's not completely out of the question in the upcoming days for us or even here tonight, we know that any rain that's left over to reach us will be very light. It'll be brief and passing, limited to just a sprinkle here or there. Some of you have seen that activity earlier on this afternoon, as noted here on Storm Tracker. Temperatures today have risen up close to 60, but most spots have stayed in the 50s. We look at just a slight chance at a few raindrops tomorrow and on Friday. Over the weekend, we'll get out of the influence of this current system, but by the time Sunday gets here, we have the chance at seeing rain from another system. Then the rain chance carries over into our Monday, Memorial Day, and some thunderstorms will be possible then. At that point in the forecast, things will be getting a whole lot warmer around here. We've had a cold week. We've lined up 4 colder than average days here in our May calendar, and we are 5.1 degrees below average for this month to date. Currently, our temperature sits at 59 in Fort Wayne with winds breezy from the east at 17 miles per hour. We have a temperature that is in the 50s in most spots except in Defiance where it's 61. Van Wert 59 for you, Bluffton 58, LaGrange 58, Columbia City and Huntington, your temperature 57 degrees. And over the course of the next 12 hours, we'll all find ourselves in the 50s. We're just slowly falling through the 50s from evening into late night and overnight. By the time we get to early morning, our temperatures will settle back to near the 50-degree mark before they start to rise again. And they will rise slightly higher over the course of the daytime tomorrow. For us here tonight, still plenty of clouds around, maybe a sprinkle or 2. There are morning time temperatures right around 50. Now, areas south of Fort Wayne will drop only to the low 50s. And then over the course of the day tomorrow, expect to see a lot of cloud cover and an occasional shower at just a few moments of the day. Most of our Thursday will be dry, but still not seeing a lot of sunshine around here. We're socked in with the cloud cover all day long. Temperatures tomorrow will pan out like this. At 8 in the morning, 53. At noon, 58. At 4 o'clock, 62. So another below average day around here. Our winds from the northeast between 5 and 15 miles per hour. 63 the high in Auburn and Kendallville. 61 in Huntington and Decatur. And 60 the high in Portland. Then we advance into our Friday. And what we're going to see on Friday is very much the same as what we see tomorrow. A lot of clouds around and an occasional shower or two, but a lot of the day rain-free. Now, Friday will be a little bit warmer. A high temperature then heads back to 70. Over the weekend, we're talking about 79 on Saturday, Sunday 85, Monday 86. Then on Tuesday, back down to the upper 70s, Wednesday 80, Thursday 76, Friday 73. The chance of some occasional rain on those days. Then a week from Saturday, dry, a little bit cooler. We're talking about low 70s then. That's your latest forecast. We have more news for you coming up.
That's right, Nicholas. Today was the final day of preparations for Fort Wayne Community Schools' virtual graduations. We'll have reaction from a Northside senior at 6.
But first, have you noticed scooters scattered about blocking paths and sidewalks downtown? Hear from the city about their plan to get these vehicles properly parked when your number one News at 5 returns.
Local coverage you can count on continues with Tara Brantley and Dirk Rowley. You're watching WANE 15 News, first at 5.
It's been nearly a year since scooters descended on Fort Wayne. Where people are parking them, though, that's becoming a problem.
The city acknowledges that they're receiving both compliments and complaints about the VO-Ride scooters. The complaints specifically talk about where people leave them and block sidewalks where people just can't get around them. Fort Wayne is working with VO-Ride to give people some incentives to park the scooters in the right places.
When we launched this, we were very careful to tell people that we want the scooters parked where bike racks are. If you can't find a bike rack, please park that scooter on the sidewalk, but closest to the curb.
VO-Ride does say there is a fine right now for parking your scooter in the wrong spot. The city of Fort Wayne says the scooters have been a great option for the city. In fact, the area broke a record with the number of rides in a single day just this past Saturday.
Happening right now, Sweetwater and the American Red Cross are giving you the chance to give back with a blood drive. The Red Cross is encouraging healthy individuals to donate. In exchange, Sweetwater is giving 2 free tickets to see Pink Droid in October. The drive runs until 8 tonight at the Red Cross on California Road. You can find the registration link in this story on WANE.com. Coming up, waiting for the sun to return. Nicholas back with his exclusive 10-day forecast next.
Hi, I'm Nina Ijamanta from Canterbury School, and yeah, it's just crazy how a lot of things have been canceled. At my school, we were going to have a Shakespeare play this spring, and I was really excited because I was going to direct it, but of course, you know, we had to go into quarantine, and you know, it can be kind of disheartening at some times, but I think it's just important to understand that we're, you know, a part of history, and you know, we're doing our part to slow down the virus.
My name is Christian. I'm a senior at Canterbury High School. I think the thing I miss most about going to school is seeing my teachers and interacting with them in person and seeing my classmates. But at Canterbury, they do teach perseverance very well.
You know, hang in there, class of 2020.
Here's one more look at the 10-day forecast. A few scattered sprinkles tonight and over the next couple of days. Most of the time we're dry. We're still cloudy around here. Temperatures are on their way up eventually. 62 tomorrow. That is a little bit warmer than today. Friday, 70. Saturday, 79. Then mid-80s for Sunday and Monday with a rain chance increasing during that time.
A couple of days without rain.
Yes, not many, but a couple.
Thanks.
See you at 6.